What's up, guys? Matt with Bam Ranch. What I wanted to talk about today was AI. It's been in the news a lot lately, with all the deep fakes and how it can sway elections, and it's going to write all the college students' term papers, and the kids won't have to focus in school because they can just use ChatGPT to be able to do everything they want. And while there is a little bit of truth to that, I want to talk about the usefulness of it and why you probably should be using it, or at least learning about it. One thing's for sure, both the left and the right, all of the media seems to hate it, and all they do is talk trash about it. And whenever the Fox News and CNN both come to a disagreement with something and decide that it's just bad, we need to get rid of it, that's a key to me that it's something I need to pay attention to and learn something about.
Artificial intelligence and ChatGPT and Apple is getting their own and Google has their own now, and it's really starting to come back into the news. And there's been a lot of talk about how it can be a bad thing, about how it's going to, learn too much and get too smart. And we've all seen the reports of the two different AIs talking back and forth to each other, how they're going to take over the world. And we've seen the deep fakes and stuff, the calls from, political candidates, the automated calls, which are entirely fake. And all of that stuff is a legitimate concern. It's a real thing. It's actually happening. But I wanted to talk to you about it from a little bit different perspective. The fact is, bad people are going to use any tool available to them to get done what they want. And just because you don't participate in it doesn't change the fact that they're still going to use that stuff to do bad things. And speaking specifically about, ChatGPT, it's gotten to be something that I use almost every single day. And you hear my dogs click-clacking around the floor. But ChatGPT is basically, all AIs are basically just a large language model, which is, a $50 word for a computer programming software or language. And while traditional computer programming languages such as C or Python or even, HTML for the internet, they use a specific set of symbols and words and things of that nature to be able to make a computer do certain things, if this, do that, to be able to trigger the computer algorithm. Well, ChatGPT and others, they do the exact same thing. The only difference is it uses the English language as its programming prompt, and instead of searching with inside the framework of whatever programming language it is, its framework, so to speak, is the entire internet. And like ChatGPT is everything from 2 years ago and back, at least with the free version. And it really, really does offer some distinct advantages that you're cutting yourself short if you don't take advantage of. The tactical, practical stuff of it is take your resume. You can upload your resume as a file into ChatGPT and say, I'm applying for this position at this company. This is the name of the person I'm submitting it to. Give it as much information as you can. Optimize my resume for this particular position, and boom, it'll spit it out just like that. And it's you do it and it's amazing how much it changes. And then you'll tell it, okay, take that resume and make a cover letter. You can give it a set length. I want it to be this long, or so many words, or 2 paragraphs, or extremely brief. And it'll do that. And you may have to change, you probably will have to change a few things about it, modify it a little bit, but it's amazing what that can do. a quick recipe for something you're trying to make that you've never done before. Or maybe you just wanted another perspective of it. You get online and try to look, and you wind up with these recipe sites that you've got to scroll through, 10 pages worth of ads once you click on the website to get to the recipe, and then you still can't find the ingredients or whatever. Well, ChatGPT will spit that right out to you. And you can tell it, okay, well, I don't use seed oils, or do it with whole grain wheat instead of, all-purpose flour. You can really narrow down the parameters. Give it a list of meals that you want to have for this week, and it'll spit you out a shopping list. Maybe you're trying to relate this back to preparedness, and you're just not sure where to start. ChatGPT does a really good job, and you can take it and say if there's an influential person. Like I watch the Survival Podcast. I listen to it every day by Jack Spirko. And something I can do is I want you to speak in the first person as if you were Jack Spirko. How would you handle this situation? Or anything else. You can use Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, anything you wanted. And it'll change its entire prompt setup to reflect the way that person would reason through that particular problem. History. Speak in the first person as if you were Thomas Jefferson and explain this to me. And it does a really good job. And, it tends to put a little bit of political stuff in it, but I don't think that Thomas Jefferson would have been above that. He like it or not, he had a little bit of politician in him. There's no doubt. But you really do need to start leveraging things like ChatGPT. And even if you'll never use it, some of the, like Mid-Journey, for the image generation, you'd be doing yourself a favor to at least learn the basics of how that works. Once you learn the basics of how it works, you'll be a whole lot better. It sharpens your bullshit detector. You know what to look for. You understand that images don't exactly come out right all the time, and maybe the hands are something that the AI really struggles with. And you'll be able to pick out bullshit images. And same with videos as well. It helps you detect those deep fakes. There's just 1,000 different reasons why you really should be using it. One thing that I've really enjoyed doing is going to ChatGPT with something that I was unfamiliar with, and telling it, give me a 2-week lesson that I can work on 30 minutes a day and teach me everything I need to know about this particular subject to have a working knowledge of it. And it'll do it. Just spit it out just like that. It'll give you a lesson plan. If you have an opinion about something, or you're curious about an opinion on something, use ChatGPT to learn about that, and then say, teach this to me, give me a couple lessons using a Socratic method, or whatever teaching method that you find works best for you. Another thing is, if you really want to get down to the bullshit detection and everything else like that, look at the current events that are going on and tell ChatGPT to debate that with you. If you really want to test how knowledgeable you are on the subject, do that for 10 minutes or so, and then tell it you want to switch sides. So now you're debating against yourself. And you'll really find out when you do something like that exactly how deep or shallow your knowledge truly is with that. It's something that really is amazing, and I was vastly surprised. Now, with things like ChatGPT and the Google ones, and they only give you the quality of information out that you provide. And it's the same with programming a computer. if you put in shit programming, it's going to give you shit programming. So you really have to learn to prompt it correctly. The good news is ChatGPT can help you learn how to do that, or Google's version of it, or Apple's version of it, Microsoft's version of it. They can help teach you how to utilize it to your fullest potential. I was just curious. I didn't want to have to go digging around. I was helping somebody just over the weekend do some exhaust work on their pickup. It was my daughter's boyfriend, and we needed to take the exhaust off. So I said, hey, I have a 1998 Dodge pickup with this particular engine. What size socket do I need for the nuts on the exhaust manifold bolts that hold on the exhaust, that attach the exhaust pipe to the exhaust manifold? And it said, okay, well, it's a 3/8 inch by this thread. The nut that holds it on is a 9/16. And yeah, I could have crawled under there and looked at that and known right away. But the fact is, I was able to put that in and get that information as I was walking outside. I didn't have to crawl underneath it or anything. It really, really does a good job of helping problem solve that kind of stuff. Put in the type of equipment that you may have. For example, I have a welder, and I was just playing with it the other day, and told it the equipment that I have and the equipment that all the things that it's capable of, and actually just put in the brand name and model number. And I told it to remember that. Then I said, I want to build a 6x8 shed and a few other projects. And it spit me out a cut list, a materials list, everything I'd need to do and purchase to be able to complete those projects. I need to buy this many linear feet of inch and a half thin wall, square tubing, and then the cut sections that I go through, it just listed all that out for me right there in a list. There wasn't drawing this stuff out. There wasn't, trying to get angles right, for the diagonal bracing. It told me, I'm going to need this many pieces cut at this particular angle, at this particular length. And it just really is a tool that we all need to be leveraging. You have a family of 4. You want to store 3 months worth of food that contains 3,000 calories per person per day. These are the foods that you like. These are the meals that you ate. This stuff needs to be shelf stable for over 1 year, for 1 year minimum. Put that information into it and it spits it out. Just right, it got you a shopping list right there. You can just go online and do an online order and pick it up all in one go. Or you can tell it you want to break it up, break the purchases up so that you can do it a little bit at a time, once a week, and have this process, this whole purchasing thing completely finished in 6 weeks. Well, it'll break that up for you. It really is truly one of the most powerful computer-based tools that has come about in my lifetime. It truly is. And being able to scour and access the whole of the internet. The paid version is $20 a month, and it does do a better job. But you don't have to use it. On the free version, you can tell ChatGPT, I want to start this particular business. Tell me all of the paperwork I need for starting an LLC, and it'll tell you. And then tell it, okay, cool, write my articles of incorporation. Bam, just like that. That's something you'd have to pay thousands of dollars, by the end of it to get all that out. Give me a social media marketing campaign schedule. and it'll spit out the schedule. Okay, now from that schedule, do it in a list format and give me the option as time comes up to ask for an outline on how I would go about executing that social media marketing campaign. It'll do it. You want to build your own website, get on ChatGPT and give it the information. Say, listen, I have a new business. It's called, I don't know, what's something I have sitting here beside me. It's called Mason Jars Unlimited. I want to build a website. Tell me what information I need to give you to help me learn how to build a WordPress website. And it'll tell you, give me this information. And you'll give it to it, and it'll ask a couple more questions. And within 30 minutes or so, it has all the information that would have taken you days to sit around and think about. And then you could say, okay, now from step one, a beginner who's never done this before, how do I start the process of building my own WordPress website? Or how do I incorporate Shopify so I can sell, the mason jars? And it'll walk you through that. It is something that will absolutely replace jobs. But there's always going to have to be somebody there to be able to run it. And all of these AI programs are perfectly capable of teaching you how to do that. Yes, there's going to be bad people that do bad things with it. And they're going to do that whether you take advantage of being able to use it for what it is and your purposes or not. So I really want you to rethink how you look at artificial intelligence. It truly is a powerful tool that you absolutely need to be leveraging. All right, until next time, stick around for the item of the day, and you guys be safe.
This is what they call the jiggler siphon. They are made by Safety Siphon. See if I can put if you can read that. These are like 12 bucks. Incredibly easy. I'll roll in some video of using these. But it's incredibly easy and they're fast. You're not juggling around a huge gas can. Buy 6 of these. Keep them with every fuel can you have. Keep one in the car, keep one in the garage, keep one with your generators. They're cheap enough, just buy them and keep them. Just take the end, stick it in, find the bottom, and give it a shake. And that starts your siphon. You can probably hear that little ball jiggling around in there. I tie them on right here just to make sure they don't fall over.